Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here for round one of a brand new season. Oulton Park is hosting round one of the 21-22 Motorsport News Circuit Rally Championship. Cannot believe we are back already for another season, and as you can see behind us, we've got some familiar faces returning, we've got some new faces joining us, some people are having their first ever event today. We've got it all. Michelin are back, and we've got some brand new sponsors on board too. What a fantastic season it is going to be. Who's going to come out on top? I don't know, but let's head straight out for the action, and round one will tell us a bit more information.
Thanks, Sam. It's good to be back onto the stages then, and it would be a familiar face. Well, two of them at the top of our leaderboard. Frank Bird and Jack Morton taking the early lead, and it was a good one at that, if not slightly ominous for anyone behind. 50 seconds the advantage after 4 stages, really pushing for that victory from the start.
The unbeatable pair are back. You are leading. You're on fire again today.
Yeah, it's going good so far. First one circuit championship in this car, so yeah, really enjoying it so far. Stages were really good, so just taking it nice and steady and enjoying the day, so yeah, it's good so far.
Neil Roskell returns to the championship again this season. Sean Leyland alongside this time out. Neil has been spending the time since last year's series, competing on closed road events, and with plenty of success as well. Now wanting, of course, to bring that experience into the new season with them. And it shows. Seat time does count for something. Second place was theirs for now. They were starting to build a bit of an advantage for themselves in that position as well. More of a comfort blanket as they looked ahead to charge down that victory.
Oh, it's been fantastic. I've just tried different tyres for that stage and it seemed to work well. So yeah, we've got I think about 3 seconds faster. So we've just got to keep plugging away. I can't catch that bird, so Mr. Bird, should we say. But no, it's fantastic. Having a good time, so just getting a bit hot in here.
Our 2019 champion Barry Morris brings the Darien back over from Ireland for another go, this time with Mark Fowler in the co-driver seat. Not many people know this venue as a rally stage better than Mark. Travel restrictions, of course, preventing a proper defence of the Morris' title last time out with Tom Hutchings alongside. So this time it would be good to get some points on the board from round one, and perhaps we'll give him that year off and this can be the title defence for real. It was looking good so far as well, with third place leading the D1 class.
How was that stage? Were we drama free on that stage?
Yeah, no, the tyres made a big help. I think we're about 6 or 7 quicker, so no, happy out.
There was early frustration without that Irish look for the other Darien of Joshua and Tamsin Davey. They set a time good enough for 4th place overall on the opening stage of the rally, but an engine knocking would be enough to make them call it a day, putting the car on the trailer so as to not risk any further damage.
Josh, unfortunately, this is a sight that we're seeing too often at the minute, and it's a very, very sorry sight. What's happened today?
Struggling with a bit of oil temp, unfortunately. So we've knocked it off and called it a day before we do too much damage. Bit of gutting whilst it's still running to park it on the truck, but it's a sensible thing to do.
That retirement leaving 4th place available for Darryl Taylor and Dylan Thomas, but they're there on merit. They were having a good start to their day, just 15 seconds back from Morris. There were no issues to report either, just a case really of keeping pace with that rapid top 3 and trying to get quicker as the day went on.
How are we finding today back out on the stages?
Yeah, it's nice and dry, yeah, putting in some good times and trying to get quicker, yeah, so.
Good, that's what we want. Is he keeping you right?
I turned the intercom off.
Event sponsor Graeme Coffee is back supporting his local rally, and it will be a good start in the Fiesta as well. Matt Daniels alongside this weekend. Although a drive shaft failure on the opening stage of the rally wouldn't be the best of starts. They were having a good run since that though, getting things sorted to lie in 5th place overall.
Graeme, you're looking good again out there now?
Yeah, same for the first stage when we had a drive shaft failure on the second lap. I think the pace is coming now, so it's feeling good. Everything's looking like it's working good.
It would be a new car, meanwhile, this weekend for Nick and Sally Whale. Their first time out in a 4-wheel drive car as well. not that you'd see that from the times. They were settling in well, it has to be said, ending the morning 6th place on the leaderboard. Happy with how things were going, even if they were still trying to get used to the settings on the car. Class winners from last season, Josh Payton and Jamie Vaughan, were back to defend their title. Doing it in style so far, almost aiming for every bit of Armco that they could, getting that thing so sideways. They lead the way in Class C, getting themselves up into the top of our overall leaderboard as well, with 7th place overall at this stage. Actually, on an identical time to Whale up ahead. An impressive start. A little way behind Payton on the overall results would be the Skoda of Tony Robinson and Paul Spooner. They were putting in some good times, ending the morning 8th place overall, just a single second back from the Escort pair up ahead. For Will Owen and Chloe Louise Thomas, another sideways Escort, it will be 9th. They end the morning with 2nd place in the D1 class as well. A close battle then for these final positions in the top 10. Only 4 seconds separating them from Robinson in the Skoda. And rounding out the top 10 will be Mike English and Andy Robinson, not in the Escort that we'd become accustomed to, but this season they're in the Fiesta R5. How good does that car look with the new style arches and that colour scheme? The L plates on the car letting everyone know that this was all new to Mike. Rally driver excuses at the ready then. They were going well though, not needing them at this stage, ending the morning 10th place. Not everyone was having good luck though this morning. Rob Hughes and Sean Cunniff would be one of a few people to catch a gate post, ripping a hole in the tyre, forcing them to pull over and change it. Losing plenty of valuable time and positions in the process. They do manage to get themselves up as far as 28th by the end of the morning, but no more than damage limitation really. They'd suffer as well with clutch issues at the start of stage 4. A big job then to try and get things fixed over the lunch break to see if they could claim back some positions in the afternoon.
So it's never good when you come in for a stage pushing your car.
No, not at all. Came over. We didn't realise when we came round on the first bit they'd left Mark's car there, so it was like a chicane. So we went round it and it just distracted him. We went round it and he just locked up, and then the clutch pedal just went to the floor. So we didn't have a clutch for most of that. It came, it went, it came, it went. It's just gone completely there now. So had to get a push over. I'm not used to all this fitness.
I know you're going to have to run now. We'll catch up with you soon.
Right, thanks, guys.
There's more frustration as well, this time for Paul Moreau and Callum Cross. They suffer a similar fate to Hughes, getting a puncture in the opening stage of the day and having to stop. They end the morning way down in 30th overall, just a single second back from Hughes as well.
A look at some of the class battles going on this weekend then, and it would be familiar faces at the top of that Class A leaderboard, as Chris and Anthony Newton return to defend their class title and open up a good advantage in the class lead by the end of stage 4. Closest rivals in the class would be James Hardy and Nick Wilkins, but they were a good way back on the times and overall places too. It certainly wasn't impossible for them to take the class win, but they would definitely be watching what Team Newton did up ahead. In Class B, it would be the lead for Ryan Burns and Steve Hallmark. They recently tried their hand at a gravel event for the first time, which may or may not have helped when it came to the infield sections of the stage here at Oulton Park. In any case, they lead the way with a 17-second advantage, which definitely couldn't be taken for granted. Chasing them down for that Class B lead would be Ben and Andrew Wilkinson. They were putting in some really good stage times in the Peugeot and would be looking to try and close that gap in the afternoon. With Josh Payton and Jamie Vaughan away in the lead of Class C in the overall results, it would be Rob Cox and Ethan Zudrowski who would take second place there for now. They weren't going to be chasing for the class win on times, but they did need to be where they were should anything go wrong. In the D2 class, it would be Thomas Barlow and Robert DeBelder who take the early advantage. They had a good lead in the class, but it had been helped by other factors around them. One of those factors would be problems for Ryan Connolly and Christopher Allen. The power steering failing on the first stage would of course slow them down. Thankfully, with the problem fixed, they were able to get back on a good pace and start hunting down that class lead. But for now, it would be second place. Greg Williams and Richard Edwards make a really good start in the E1 class. They take a good lead there in the Subaru. Their closest rival in the class at this stage would be over 3 minutes back. And that rival would be Michael and Sean Stanley, a few minutes back on the results but still pushing on in their Subaru. The MX5 class would see some retirements, but not for Paul Gorge and Dan Hurst. They lead the way there, and in fact they were the only ones left running by the end of the morning, 35th overall. One of the crews we would lose from that class would be Tony and Esteros Carinante. The engine overheated and forced them to call it a day early into the event. So, with the morning stages complete, the results at the top look like this. In the classes then, there would be some close fights opening up, as well as a few clear leaders going into the afternoon stages too.
Let's head back out then onto the afternoon stages, and we lose Paul Moreau and Callum Cross. They haven't managed to climb their way up the leaderboard much either before they suffered with a broken steering rack. A little off-road excursion too. Not the best of days, shall we say. There's no change in the MX5 class, of course. Paul Gorge and Daniel Hurst keeping the car going to the end of the rally, taking the class victory with that in 38th place overall. The E1 class would end the way it started this morning. Michael and Sean Stanley ending the event with second in the class, 43rd overall. That, of course, meant it was the class win for Greg Williams and Richard Edwards. It was a good victory, taking 19th place on the leaderboard as well. Despite a valiant push and those team ducks on board for good measure, if you know, you know. Sadly, Ryan Connolly and Christopher Allen were not able to get themselves up as far as the class lead. Perhaps we were robbed from seeing that battle unfold. But given the problems this morning and 19 months out of the car before this round, they had to be happy with second place in the class, only missing out on the class lead by 16 seconds. So that does mean that Thomas Barlow and Robert De Belder were able to hold them at bay and keep that Puma behind them and the class lead to themselves, taking victory in the Civic here at the opening round. Ryan, the first to congratulate the pair at the end of the rally and show how impressed he was and how much he enjoyed that fight. There's no change in Class C though. Rob Cox and Ethan Zadrowski keeping hold of that second place. Everything seeming to go to plan with no problems to report other than the occasional driver error on the slippery stages this afternoon, but we can forgive the odd one, can't we? Out for a run in an unfamiliar car. This would be a good result for the pair, who we may well see back in an Escort soon and pushing for that class victory when we do. In Class B, we'd see a bit of change, but not for this man. Ben Wilkinson, Andrew alongside in that immaculate 106 Maxi. They end the rally with second place in the class. They have managed to overhaul Ryan Burns on the overall leaderboard, but the victory wasn't to be this weekend. And in no small part, that will be down to a good push from Alex Cannon and Alan Carfrae. They managed to reach the end of the rally with the class lead to take victory. It was a close one though, only 4 seconds of an advantage after that fight by the finish. In Class A, as expected, things would remain just the same. James Hardy and Nick Wilkins holding on to that second in the class, a little down on the overall results from our class winners. And that, of course, means it's a class victory for Christopher and Anthony Newton as they guide that Nova to the finish, not only with a good advantage in the class, good being the understatement of the year so far, but a very impressive 16th place overall finish as well.
On to the top 10, and there would be no change for Mike English and Andy Robinson. They have a very successful debut in that beautiful R5 and end the event with 10th overall. Very happy, I'm sure, that they were there or thereabouts with some of the regulars around them on the results. For Josh Payton and Jamie Vaughan, it would be a little slip down on the overall results, but that Class lead was still theirs. They end the event with the Class C lead and 9th place overall. Things remain the same in the class for Will Owen and Chloe Louise Thomas. They end the event with 2nd place in the D1 class and 8th place overall. A good end to the first round of the season for the escort pair. 7th at the end of the event then would be the Skoda of Tony Robinson and Paul Spooner. Always great to see something different out on the stages, challenging for the results, and they would certainly be ones to watch as they get used to that car a little more. And the same can definitely be said for Nick and Sally Whale. They debut in the Fiesta going very, very well, and they end the event with 6th place overall, clearly getting to grips with the car and with the 4-wheel drive. After the problems this morning, it was a much better run to the finish for Graeme Coffey and Matty Daniels. They take 5th place this weekend and put some good points on the board from the Graeme Coffey Solicitors sponsored opening round. On to those podium places, and it would be 3rd for Barry Morris and Mark Fowler. It of course wasn't the win that they would have wanted, but it would be some very good points on the board from this opening round. They also take the D1 class win in the process. For Neil Roskell and Sean Leyland, it would be 2nd overall. They didn't manage to catch the leading crew, but they also didn't expect to either. Very happy with that finish and setting them up very well going into the 2nd round of the championship. But taking that all-important win this weekend would be Frank Bird and Jack Morton. They put in a very dominant performance to end the event well clear at the top, taking maximum point from this round and starting their season as they mean to go on. So, before we chat to the crews at the finish, here's a reminder of those class and overall results here at the opening round of the Motorsport News Circuit Rally Championship at Oulton Park. 3rd overall championship crews. I mean, this is a good start to the season, isn't it?
Very good start. Couldn't ask for better. So, roll on, Cadwell.
And it's had a bit of everything today, hasn't it? We've had a bit of rain, we've had a bit of... It's been a bit all over, and you had dry feet in the water splash as well, which is always good.
Yeah, for a change, we're not soaking.
And what's this man been like in alongside?
Perfect. Couldn't fault him at all. So thank you. And thank you.
Not a problem. Happy to help. I'm really glad it's worked out. Yeah. You've had a good day, haven't you?
Yeah, obviously I love rallying, and this boy can drive, so absolutely amazing to get round and get obviously the 3rd and going fast as well, so and no accidents, we love that.
And considering a few days ago you weren't actually coming here, and now you've got a bottle of champagne to take with you.
Yeah, I don't think it'll last long though, I think it'll get poured over everyone first.
2nd overall to start the season. We've got to be pleased with that. What a good day. You've been smiling all day.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. We've had a really good run today. Sean at the side of me. We've been fantastic. We've, different conditions all day, aren't there? And with that rain coming in, I like the rain, so it's come to me and we've enjoyed it. Yeah, we've had a good run. Yeah, I'm really happy.
I'm glad you enjoy the rain. Yeah. We don't enjoy the rain.
I don't envy you. I don't envy you stood out there, but yeah, it's been really good. So just dedicate this to our Nathan. Yes. Yeah.
Frank, Jack, what a start to the season. I mean, you've come out as a pair. You're fairly kind of unbeatable at the minute, aren't you?
Well, it's going all right so far. Yeah, I'm really happy with the days, to be honest. 3rd attempt at this rally, so finally won it. And 2nd one in the car, so 2 out of 2, and yeah, mega day overall, so really happy with that.
It hasn't taken him long to get to grips with this new car either, has it? I mean, yeah, 2nd event in it, and you've gone and won it.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing seems to faze him, like as I keep on saying at every single rally, nothing seems to faze him, but it was, say, a fair tricky day because for the first time we were trying the Michelin tyres for the first time, so a big thanks to them for supplying us with them, and yeah, they worked on the car pretty well, and Frank got on with them pretty well, so yeah, big thank you to them, and yeah, just going forward into the big one in 2 weeks' time.
I know, so hopefully Cadwell Park then, is that next on the agenda for the season? Is that the plan?
No, we're missing that one out.
No, unfortunately.
Giving that one
I wasn't sure when you said the big one, I was thinking, I've missed something here.
A bigger one than that. WRC.
Yeah, WRC Monza.
Oh, you are. You're going to Monza later on in the week, aren't you? Actually.
Yeah.
So it's not too hard of a decision to skip out Cadwell. So no, really looking forward to it being a mega opportunity. So see how we get on.
No, fair enough. I see your decision making there. Absolutely. Well, we wish you all the very best of luck, and then hopefully see you later on in the season.
Yeah. Thank you.
And that is it. That is a wrap. Oulton Park has not disappointed. We've had so many highs. We've had drama. We've had it all. We've had all the weather as well. But these guys have had a fantastic day. What a start to the season. Thank you very, very much. An endless task for the sponsors, the marshals and the motor clubs for putting on such a great event. We will see you all very shortly in 2 weeks' time at Cadwell Park for round 2.